News. Stepping down.
I was not prepared to go forward and have that civil war and drive that divide.
A once defiant John Rustad agrees to resign as leader of the BC Conservative Party. Plus, stepping in.
I am not running to be the next premier of this province, but I am going to support whoever accepts that.
Trevor Halford, how the interim Conservative leader plans on bringing stability to a party in chaos. And food prices set to soar.
We're starting to utilize more flyers and coupons, which we haven't done before.
Food experts predict a jump in prices next year from meat to produce.
This is CBC Vancouver News.
Good evening, I'm Lien Yeung. Thanks for joining us. Well, after a dramatic 24 hours, some clarity for the embattled BC Conservative Party. John Rustad has agreed to resign. And stepping in is Trevor Halford, but only as interim leader. As Katie DeRosa reports, the party is saying they are now united. The next step is figuring out who might lead them into the future.
Happy New Year. 24 BC Conservative MLAs jubilant, standing behind their new interim leader.
I'm feeling very, very united.
That show of unity coming shortly after this.
I'm stepping down as the leader of the Conservative Party of British Columbia.
A major about-face 24 hours after Rustad insisted he would stay on as leader, despite a letter from 20 MLAs saying they wanted him to go, and an announcement from the party board that Trevor Halford had been selected to replace him. So what changed? Rustad said his wife and key supporters urged him to keep fighting.
But in order to do that would be the creation of a civil war.
Rustad says he will stay on as Conservative MLA for Nechako Lakes and says he'll throw his support behind whoever is selected to succeed him. He will not run in the next election. Despite previously blaming Rustad for the chaos surrounding the party, Premier David Eby wished him well on social media. BC Conservative Party president says there will be a leadership race, and she's hoping the next leader will be chosen in the next 6 months.
Giving our members a chance to vote on a leader is going to make everyone feel like their voices have been heard, and that the fracturing that we've seen, this is the only way to remedy those fractures that we've already seen.
The tumult within the official opposition has been going on since March. Here's a quick timeline. Rustad expelled Dallas Brody. Tara Armstrong and Jordan Keeley left in solidarity. Brody and Armstrong have formed their own party called 1BC. In September, after surviving a leadership review with 70% support, Rustad kicked out Eleanor Sturko. Amelia Boltby left the caucus shortly after.
I've said from the start that I would return if they had a new leader, and if I was invited back. They may not invite me back.
Halford says he's taking on the interim role because he does not plan to seek the leadership. So who is in the running? Rumored contenders include MLAs Peter Millibar, Eleanor Sturko, Gavin Dew, and Harman Bangu, but none have officially confirmed that. Katie DeRosa, CBC News, Victoria.
Now, Trevor Halford is a former Liberal MLA who crossed the floor to the BC Conservatives last September after the collapse of the BC United. So what strengths does Halford bring to the role, and how will he help calm the turbulent political waters? Our Pinky Wong has that part of the story.
I think now is the turning point. I think today is where we're knowing that we're going to move forward.
Trevor Halford was first elected as the MLA for Surrey Right Rock in 2020. At that time, he was with the BC Liberals before switching to the BC Conservatives in 2024 after BC United suspended its campaign. Before being elected, Halford was the Chief of Staff for BC Liberal cabinet members and a part of former Premier Christy Clark's communications team. This politician says Halford was chosen as the interim leader for BC Conservatives because of his experience.
He has been there and was there as a staff member and is quite personable and is able to get along with the MLAs.
He says Halford volunteered in his campaigns before working in the legislature.
So he's had a lot of not just theoretical experience, but practical experience working with people and volunteering and assisting and supporting them in the issues that were important to them.
Political scientist Dan Reeves says he plays the part of interim leader perfectly.
I think he's really a placeholder. There's nothing that jumps out about him as the one, other than I think he was the one who said, I'm not interested in running the next version of this.
Some residents in Halford's riding welcomed the news.
I like him. I think he's very responsive to the city residents.
I voted for him at the last elections. When we went to one of the meetings, he was there and he was just presenting himself nicely.
Halford says the Conservatives is united moving forward.
I'm feeling confident that this caucus is focused on the next chapter ahead, and that's going to be a great leadership race.
Pinky Wong, CBC News, White Rock.
To Surrey now, where Mayor Brenda Locke says she won't support an increase in funding for the city's police service. She says a budget hike by the SPS would mean a hike in property taxes. But as Saurabh Sandhu reports, her opponents are calling it a political move.
Surrey Mayor Brenda Locke says she was shocked by the request for an increase in budget from the Surrey Police Board. She says approving the $91 million increase for the board's provisional 2026 budget would require an 18% property tax hike.
We recognize that we will have to increase the budget every year, but not by 18%. At a time when affordability is top of mind for not only myself, it is the top of mind for all of our taxpayers.
That proposition is triggering concerns from some residents.
I think it's a tough one for people to swallow at this time, especially with, affordability, staying in their houses, paying their mortgage. It's not easy.
Well, that means my rent's going to go up. A lot of people won't be able to afford it.
In a statement, the Surrey Police Board says the request for a budget increase comes in part as it completes the Surrey policing transition. The board says it hopes Mayor and Council will reconsider the proposed budget. Locke says she is willing to increase funding, but says she cannot support the budget as presented. But Councillor Doug Halford says it's too early to be talking numbers.
I think that's purely political. It's a political move, and it's out there too. And it's unfair because it unsettles the public right now.
Halford says City Council will ask for a meeting with the police board to get more clarity.
Whether that's a tax increase or not, it depends on our staff and how they manage the budget. But we still have to go through the whole budget process as well.
Councillor Linda Annis, who will run for mayor in next year's municipal elections, is accusing Brenda Locke of doing everything she can to delay and derail the police. Last month, Surrey Police expanded its jurisdiction to all of South Surrey and anticipates the transition to be complete at some point in 2026-27. Saurabh Sandhu, CBC News, Surrey.
The province's health ministry is centralizing some of its health authority operations. It's a big shift that will involve opening a new office. The changes are meant to bring more efficiency and money to frontline care. But as Tanushi Bhatnagar reports, finding that new funding means job losses elsewhere.
We're moving ahead with a mandatory shared services organization.
This is the first change the Ministry of Health is implementing under the Health Authority review. Administrative and corporate roles across 5 regional health authorities will now be managed by this new entity as early as spring next year.
We'll be able to save time, save money and effort that health authorities can apply directly to the front line delivering care for people.
The ministry says the new organization will help the Provincial Health Services Authority avoid duplication of services among regional health authorities, such as streamlining procurement of equipment, contracts for services, and hiring more healthcare professionals. One healthcare expert says that will benefit both emergency and day-to-day care.
Those money can go into opening up more OR times for surgeons to do the necessary elective or emergency surgery. They can fund more public health clinic to attach patients without family doctors.
Osborne says health authorities have already eliminated, closed, or left vacant 1,100 jobs, redirecting nearly $60 million annually to frontline care. BC's Hospital Employees Union said in a statement some of its members who work in information technology, administrative and related support roles will be impacted by this job loss. It's asking the province for full transparency as it moves forward with the transition. The ministry says the health authorities have continued to manage costs and saved over $260 million this year. And the savings from these job cuts are in addition to the costs saved. It says the review is still underway and will finish early next year. And it continues to work with unions, regional health authorities, and PHSA over the next few months before the new organization opens by spring. Tanushi Bhatnagar, CBC News, Vancouver.
Dozens of Burnaby residents gathered outside a BC housing office to voice their opposition to a supportive housing project in their neighborhood.
I'm most concerned about the safety of the local residents. Open drug use. I don't think that actually belongs in our neighborhood, especially with so many schools nearby.
This comes as the province looks to build 50 supportive and complex care homes on an empty lot on Imperial Street, which it says would include enhanced on-site health and social supports.
We're not against that, whatever they're planning. But what we are against is that's a not good spot. Maybe reconsider their planning somewhere else.
The city says BC Housing is gathering input and encourages residents to get in touch with the organization. And police on the Sunshine Coast have been busy tracking down suspects after a number of thefts and vandalism to businesses. As Alana Kelly reports, arrests have been made, but staff at some stores still don't feel safe.
Under the veil of darkness, they spark a fire.
Our entire door is up in flames.
A suspect sears the locks to this Sechelt coffee shop.
The lock completely useless. You couldn't even open the door.
Staff are scared to go to work.
There are some unwanted people and yelling at her, saying go to hell and other nasty things that I don't want to say.
This business is his family's livelihood.
I don't know what this man was trying to do. He lit our door on fire and he left while the door was still on fire. He left the premises, which it's crazy.
This isn't the only Sechelt business targeted in recent months.
Just a few blocks down, there's been multiple break-ins, windows broken, tens of thousands of dollars of items stolen.
In October, Lucky's Barbecue House had their windows smashed. A masked suspect took nearly all of their alcohol. They restocked, and the very next night, they came back and did it again. On Halloween Day, Trail Bay Source for Sports was robbed by masked men. In November, the store was vandalized twice. Police arrested and charged a 19-year-old. They've been released with a curfew and electronic tracking bracelet.
The thing that is most concerning is people are scared. People are worried to go to work.
The mayor of Sechelt calls the recent thefts and vandalism unacceptable.
As a municipality, we don't have a lot of tools. Most of the tools for enforcement and for reacting and protecting fall to the federal government or the provincial government, and of course to the police.
He wants stiff consequences.
My personal goal is to work with and advocate to the authorities in Ottawa and to a certain extent Victoria to get very, very much more tough on crime. When we have somebody who we know, we have video of somebody and we know who that person is, and though that person is still on the street, that's what worries people deeply.
As for this coffee shop, they do not believe the suspect has been caught.
We can't let a few bad apples affect our bond that we have as a community, because for me, I love being in this community. I love everyone check are you guys doing okay?
Instead of focusing on the suspect, they're pouring their efforts back into the community. Alana Kelly, CBC News, Sechelt.
Look who's here, Darius Madavi, with a first look at the weather. How are things looking, Darius?
Well, we've seen a few showers popping up across the region. That'll continue into tomorrow morning, but the potential still for a slight break in the clouds as we get later into the day, and more moisture is on the way, especially as we get into early next week. Now, if we zoom in here, we have a fog advisory in place along the Highway 3 here, especially around Kootenay Pass, and a snowfall warning around Highway 1 through Sycamus. Here we have as much as 15 to 20 centimeters of snow, mostly coming midday tomorrow through Saturday morning, or Saturday afternoon, I should say. We'll talk more later in the show, Leanne.
Okay, we'll check in later. Thanks, Darius.
Thank you.
One Vancouver Island bakery is gearing up for the holidays. After the break, we pay them a visit and learn more about their inclusive hiring practices.
This is Vancouver is a new CBC podcast where we explore the issues, the stories, and the people that make this place home. Listen to This is Vancouver wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back. BC's police watchdog says it won't be recommending charges against RCMP officers who shot and killed a teenager in Surrey in February. According to the Independent Investigations Office report, police, along with a mental health nurse, responded to a 911 call from a teen. The 15-year-old said he had a firearm and was threatening to harm himself. The IIO says police tried to resolve the situation for more than 20 minutes and were aware he had autism.
What the police saw was a young man with what appeared to be a real firearm, pointing it at them, waving it around, and they reasonably believed that there was a real threat of death or grievous bodily harm, either to the police or to other people in the neighborhood, or even to Chase himself.
When the teen pointed his replica gun at the police, the two officers fired their weapons. The IIO's chief civilian director calls the outcome, quote, tragic, but not the result of unjustified force. And if you or someone you know is struggling or in crisis, please reach out for help. You can call the Suicide Crisis Helpline at 988 for immediate support. Well, the holidays are a time for stocking up on pastries, for one. One bakery on the Cowichan Valley has an extra perk. The Mindful Mouthful is employee-centered bakery that specializes in cookies, dessert bars, meat pies, and inclusion for people with developmental disabilities. Our Claire Palmer headed to the bakery to find out how it's making a difference.
It's here in the kitchen that the magic happens.
Working here is like the best thing that's ever happened to me.
It's more than just a bakery, it's a social enterprise run by the nonprofit Clement Center. All the money from treat sales go towards supporting people with developmental disabilities, the same people who work at the shop.
That these guys have regular jobs with regular pay, and they're colleagues. Their pride in what they do is just amazing. When we're out in public and somebody says, "I recognize you. You're from the Mindful Mouthful," and those smiles that they have are just amazing.
The bakery started as an unpaid program but transitioned into a social enterprise 10 years ago. It's grown from a training ground to a thriving business.
So it gives people an opportunity to have a position to earn an income, it gives people meaning in their lives, and it's a great team environment and where people work with their friends, and it's very supportive.
A big win came from just this past March. The local country grocer in Duncan started selling the cookies, with 100% of those sales going back to the center.
Just the work they do, the people that they employ, the more money they can make, the more people they can employ.
And customers.
We don't hear a lot of feedback from the community by itself. It's more their purchasing power tells us that they're enjoying it because we are able to buy on a fairly regular basis from them.
With Walton's help, cookies have since spread to other country grocers in Cobble Hill, Chemainus, and Ladysmith.
So it's really wonderful to do this season with cookies and stuff like that, because it gives you lots of magic. And
so people can share the treats and the joy of inclusion island-wide. Claire Palmer, CBC News, North Cowichan.
And just a reminder, you are invited to join us at the CBC Broadcast Centre in Vancouver in support of communities in need and food banks in BC. That is Friday. We are calling it Make the Season Kind. There will be a full day of special programming and family-friendly activities. If you want to make a difference or see the full list of activities, go to cbc.ca/kindbc. Make the Season Kind is this Friday, December 5th, and it will be happening throughout the day right here at 700 Hamilton Street. And the view from the top of the upper gondola at Revelstoke. The lifts are running, as you can see, but no skiers yet. That opens Saturday. Will there be snow, though? Darius has your wintry forecast next.
I think it's important to give a human face to the stories that we hear every day, the people that they affect. And I think talking to those people is what really gives us the true sense of the impact.
Worrying projections headline a report on the coming year's food prices. It predicts food will cost $990 more for the average Canadian family of 4. Anis Hidari has the details.
Canadians aren't imagining it. Buying meat at the grocery store keeps getting pricier.
When I'm shopping, I look, oh, okay, this chicken is on sale today. I guess I'll buy that one. Maybe try and go to Costco to stock up, fill up the freezer.
It is getting more expensive, yeah. Like if you want to buy some spaghetti or something and put some ground beef on there, it's like $3 more or something.
And new research from Dalhousie University predicts this trend will continue. Next year, meat could go up in price faster than many other foods. Overall, food prices are predicted to go up between 4 and 6% in 2026. Meat is predicted to go up by 5 to 7%. Some factors behind this include higher packaging and processing costs. And herds themselves are smaller this year, including some ranches downsizing. That's not happening at this BC ranch, but they understand why.
Older ranching families that don't have younger generation coming into that are getting out. I mean, it's the best time to get out. It's high prices for cattle right now.
And that could have a cascade effect on more than just beef.
A lot of cattle ranchers are exiting the industry, which is impacting inventory overall. So people are noticing higher prices. They're pivoting it over to other sources like chicken, which is why chicken prices are also on the rise.
Vegetables could also jump between 3 and 5%. Overall, these researchers predict a family of 4 could spend up to $995 more next year on food. But remember, these predictions are just that. Last year, the same researchers estimated fruit and vegetables would go up in price, and the actual retail price went in the opposite direction. Anis Hidari, CBC News, Calgary.
And so how are British Columbians being affected by the rising cost of food? We spoke with some shoppers about their changing approach to groceries.
I just heard a stat that 1 in 4 families in BC are accessing the food bank this year, so next year it'll probably go up. I don't know what the solution is.
As a mom of 2, it's really hard, especially in this economy in Vancouver.
I'm on a pension, I'm a pensioner. I'm not happy because my pension ain't going up 6%.
We are just looking a little bit closer than we've ever had to before. And we're starting to utilize more flyers and coupons, which we haven't done before.
Tomorrow is CBC British Columbia's 39th annual day of special programming in support of Food Banks BC's 111 food banks. The event is called Make the Season Kind. And my colleague Ann Penman coordinates the event. She has for the last 39 years. And every year, thank you so much for being here, first of all, but every year before Food Bank Day, you go and visit some of our province's food banks. What did you see and hear this year?
Well, it was interesting. I saw more seniors, I saw more young families and more newcomers in the lineups. For example, I spoke to a woman from Brazil whose husband is working full-time, and she can't work because the cost of daycare is more than she could make at a job. She's a physician, in fact, but she needs to study here for at least 2 years and improve her English a bit to get on the path to be able to practice here. But so there she is at the food bank.
Right.
Also spoke to a man who worked as a garbage collector. He fell off a truck last year and is on disability, but can't cover rent and utilities. So he goes to get his groceries at a food bank, but he hopes to get back to work soon, although can't do a physically demanding job anymore. But in the meantime, he needs the help. And then there was a senior, which was really sad, told me that a couple of his friends who need to go to a food bank go to one that's an hour away from their home because they don't want to see anyone they know. They're afraid of the stigma. I also spoke to clients who are very grateful that they have the resource of a food bank. And I spoke to many people who work as volunteers at the food banks as well and really enjoy being able to help and give back to their community.
Yeah, very meaningful indeed. So this week we were reporting on the fact that Food Banks BC released their second annual hunger report. What were some of the highlights that stood out to you in that report?
Yeah, the report called, this was the biggest one, the report called The Increasing Reliance on Food Banks, and I quote, an unprecedented food security crisis here in British Columbia. The demand is so great that it reports that 10% of its food banks regularly actually have to turn away clients. The other statistic that's kind of shocking, that there's a 79% increase in food bank visits since 2019. And over this past year, they've also reported that about 20% of people using food banks in British Columbia are employed. Factors that bring them to a food bank are the cost of housing, the cost of groceries, job insecurity. Almost 1 in 4 British Columbians are facing food insecurity.
Wow, those numbers are indeed so stark, right? There's a lot of need out there. And so, Anne, as I mentioned off the top, you've been involved with this project. You've been leading it for almost 4 decades. You know, what's kind of changed for you as you've watched food bank operations?
Oh, well, you know, there's a lot that's changed for sure. The food banks, especially the larger ones in communities like Vancouver, they're much more sophisticated and more efficient in their operations than in the past. They have partnerships with grocery stores and with farmers, and they've lobbied governments at all levels for funding and other supports for people who are food insecure. Unfortunately, what hasn't changed in my experience is the fact that the number of people have grown. The number of people that have lined up outside of food banks is getting longer and longer. They're often standing in the rain, or mostly in the rain at this time of year, waiting for their turn to enter the distribution center and collect food for themselves and their families. That's not nice to see.
Right, absolutely. And hopefully, you know, as our efforts from all of our listeners and viewers, that they pour in those donations that can go to contribute to that, right?
We have an incredibly generous CBC audience here in British Columbia, incredibly generous.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. This is Anne Penman, a CBC producer who produces and Make the Season Kind every year. Thank you.
As part of the big team.
Prime Minister Mark Carney will meet briefly with Donald Trump Friday on the sidelines of the FIFA World Cup draw in Washington. Word of the meeting comes as hearings are happening about whether to renew the Canada-US-Mexico agreement, also known as the CUSMA trade deal. Katie Nicholson has the details.
These hearings are playing out against a backdrop of the U.S. president floating the idea yesterday that the U.S. may walk away from CUSMA. A sentiment also echoed by his trade representative, Jamieson Greer, who suggested the U.S. could exit the deal. Of course, this is a deal Donald Trump brokered during his first administration. And the message so far from the largely American groups speaking at these hearings is that this deal is actually a good thing. Here's what Kevin Brady with the Coalition for North American Trade had to say about what might happen if CUSMA ceased to be.
I think it'd be an economic catastrophe for all 3 countries, including the United States, because of the relationship we have. It is the most consequential trade agreement on the planet.
We've also heard from some Canadians during these hearings about those comments. Goldie Hyder is with the Business Council of Canada.
It's possible, and it's also possible the Toronto Maple Leafs might win a Stanley Cup one year, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen anytime soon. I think it's classic negotiation tactics, and I think we should be careful to separate all the noise from where things are actually going. The fact that I'm here, along with colleagues from Canada, US, and Mexico, speaking to the review and renewal of the USMCA in a process that's commenced by them, by the government, for over 270 days, tells me that they're very serious about the review and renewal.
Crucially today, the steel and automotive sector stakeholders weighed in. The Canadian steel industry, of course, hit by those Section 232 tariffs. Could those tariffs be a negotiating point? Here's what the U.S. Steel Manufacturers Association says about that.
We believe that the 232 tariffs are to protect the American steel industry, and so we would like to see those in place, but we do support a strong USMCA, and so part of this is going to be the negotiation.
American steel stakeholders added another thing to their CUSMA wish list, that Canada and Mexico bring their foreign steel trade practices in line with that of the U.S. Just one wish from one of many sectors testifying here today ahead of that big joint review of CUSMA in July. Katie Nicholson, CBC News, Washington.
The 2026 FIFA World Cup draw is taking place Friday in Washington, and Canada will learn its group stage opponents for the expanded 48-team event that's unfolding next summer in North America. As Jamie Strachan reports, there will be plenty of celebrities on hand to mark the occasion.
Early ball inside, promise David!
After years of preparation and anticipation, a clear picture of Canada's World Cup journey is about to emerge.
Luck of the draw is just, hugely important in terms of setting teams up for success or failure at the World Cup.
3 countries. Alongside Mexico and the United States, Canada will host the 48-team tournament this summer. A draw held Friday in Washington will determine the groups and matchups for the opening round. Countries have been divided into 4 so-called pots, with the hosts and top-ranked sides in Pot 1. The remaining pots are based on world rankings. For Canada, a bad scenario could see them in a group with tough opponents like Croatia, Norway, and if they qualify, Italy. A much easier road for Canada would see games against lower-ranked nations, Austria, South Africa, and New Zealand.
The wonderful thing about the World Cup is you kind of get sort of pooled into a group against teams that you don't normally play, and against nations from continents that you don't normally play.
This will be Canada's 3rd World Cup appearance. In 2022, Canada was in a group of perennial powerhouses and lost all 3 games. Bob Lenarduzzi played on Canada's first World Cup side in 1986 and says no matter who Canada draws, home field will be a huge advantage.
Anytime you pull the red jersey on as a player, you feel, I'm getting goosebumps now as I'm saying, you feel a sense of pride. And the fact that you're playing in a World Cup in your backyard, well, that pride is just going to go through the roof.
Canada will play its first game June 12th in Toronto. Fans like Azaz Sheikh, who has traveled to multiple World Cups, can't wait to see who they'll be up against.
I'm very, very excited. It's almost like a Christmas Eve kind of feeling. So we'll have the whole family together tomorrow. We'll have snacks. We'll be watching everything unfold.
He certainly won't be alone as the road to the most watched tournament in the world takes shape. Jamie Strachan, CBC News, Toronto.
Well, have you started decorating for the holidays yet? This German couple has, with over 600 Christmas trees. More on that story after the break.
This is our kindness tree, a tree of hope and love, and we need to fill it with cheer. December 5th is CBC's Make the Season Kind, and we're spreading joy with a day filled with free, festive fun for the whole family. Exclusive tastes, special fan meet and greets, selfie stations, a concert or two, and live broadcasts throughout the day. So don't miss out. Make the Season Kind, December 5th, 700 Hamilton Street.
Okay, this next one is for any of you who feel like you might go a little overboard decorating for the holidays. This is something to make you feel better. This house in Germany has been decorated with a record 621 indoor Christmas trees. That's right, 621. They are everywhere, including in the bathroom. There are other festive touches. Oh, this one might keep the in-laws away. The couple behind all this are no strangers to setting this record. They have done it on 6 previous occasions.
The weather update is brought to you by BC Cancer Foundation. Give today to bring more progress and possibilities to patients and their families. Your donation changes everything.
And Darius is here. Darius, some inspiration for decorating for the holidays for you.
I'm come from a family that I felt like goes overboard decorating, but that's next level. I do wonder what counts as a Christmas tree. Like, you know those little model Christmas trees?
Right.
You do a little Christmas village. Do those count? Does that have to be a real Christmas tree?
Of course, the science reporter is the one that wants all the hard data here,
I want the details about what the requirements are, because I feel like if it's the little model ones that count, I feel like I could get there. Anyway.
Yeah, okay, everyone, viewers, feel free to start gifting Darius these Christmas trees.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to get a bigger apartment first, but that's fine.
How's our weather looking, my friend?
Oh, wet, Lien. We're gonna see a lot of rain coming in throughout the weekend, a lot of snow for the mountains. Freezing levels are low enough that Whistler getting plenty of dumps of snow. A lot of the interior resorts like Silver Star as well, Sun Peaks. But as we look to the early next week, we're going to see plenty of rain and snow, but not so much for the local mountains because the freezing levels aren't quite low enough. Maybe at the peaks we're going to see some snow, but not so much luck down at the lower elevations. This is what we're really looking out for. That's plume of moisture coming in to BC. That is going to be a pretty intense rain event. It's a moderate atmospheric river, so expect a few days of sustained rainfall. But as I always say, atmospheric rivers are not always a big deal. They're not always a crisis. They just bring a lot of rain over a sustained period. This one, potential for some localized flooding, but it's a bit early to say for sure, so we'll keep you posted. In the meantime, showers come in and out over the next couple days. In some areas, definitely more sustained rainfall, but some parts of the island, really just showering activity. Lots of snow breaks into the interior as well over the next couple days. As we see those periods of rainfall, it sometimes will be heavy in areas like the west coast of the island, maybe the north shore of Vancouver as well for a couple hours on Sunday. Tomorrow doesn't look too intense. We'll see some rain in the morning, tapering off through the afternoon. But this is where we start to get a little bit more rain coming in, especially in the island Sunday morning. And then as we get into Monday, that bigger wave arrives. But we do get a break on the south coast here on Saturday, potentially even a little bit of sunshine. Precipitation totals aren't too high through Saturday, but we do start to see them pick up as we get later into the weekend and then into early next week. So don't expect this to be all the stuff we're getting over the next week or so. Temperatures in the northeast have fallen pretty dramatically, or will fall pretty dramatically tomorrow, I should say, but they will start to come up again early next week. Here is our conditions across the province for tomorrow, Lien. Most places not seeing all that much sunshine. And here's our 5-day forecast with the rain ending tomorrow afternoon and then some windy, mixed skies on Saturday.
Okay, pretty decent. Thanks for that, Darius.
Thank you.
After moving 6 times, the Greater Vancouver Food Bank may have found its forever home. Coming up, we get a tour of their new facility and how they're helping out.
Hi, I'm Amy Bell, and this is your CBC Inbox.
This Friday, December 5th, join us at 700 Hamilton Street in Vancouver for CBC's Make the Season Kind in support of local food banks across BC. The event is extra kind this year and features 2 live concerts and festive activities. Also, you can meet your favorite CBC personalities and special guests. To find out more and how you can give, visit cbc.ca/kindbc.
Earlier this week, our Stephen Quinn, host of The Early Edition, paid a visit to the new and permanent home of the Greater Vancouver Food Bank.
That's right. He met up with the CEO, David Leung, and got a tour of their new facility and the programs they offer. Take a look.
David Leung, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Good to see you, Stephen.
Good to see you. This is my first time in this facility. Can you just walk me through how it works here exactly? Because this is very different from your old days on Raymer Street.
No, totally it is, and we're absolutely thrilled. We purchased this building back in July of this year, so this is our first Christmas, if you want, as property owners in Vancouver. This is serving Vancouver. We have direct distribution on one side for clients, about 16,000 clients a week now, and then on this side we have some of our 160 agency partners.
And when you say agency partners, what are we talking about exactly?
Anything from halfway houses, women fleeing domestic violence. Probably 60% of our agencies are on the downtown east side, all doing incredible work. They come to us, pick up the food they need for the week to create the meals that they're doing, or the soup kitchen that they're providing to those in need. We have a system set up. An agency comes in, they get a cart exactly like this, and they go through and they literally grocery shop for free. So what you see in the fridges here is a typical day here at the food bank. Look at your eyes, I love this. You're making me happy.
No, I'm serious. This is unbelievable.
So all of the food here is donated. It's all surplus food. It would have ended up in landfill, but you can see yourself the quality.
This is just incredible. And so all of this is reclaimed, all of this is taken from...
All of this is surplus. A lot of this food that you see here didn't even make it to the grocery stores.
Right.
It's all the pre-consumer stuff that I talk about all the time. There's no shortage of food. It's a distribution problem. And if you do need help, it's Christmas time. Come and see us. We have lots of food for people. You remember the old days.
I know, exactly. I'm expecting some, dank shelves with tin cans on them and rolls of toilet paper maybe if you're on a good day.
We've really changed, and I'm super excited about what we're doing. It's because of donors, it's because of CBC Day, it's because of what you have enabled us to do.
Tell me about, because every year it seems, we know how difficult, my eyes do the same thing when I go to the regular grocery store now, and not because of the abundance, but because of the prices.
Totally.
Like seriously, food has inflated in price so much faster than anything else. What are you seeing as far as your clients go, a change in your clients?
Well, across Canada, people are surprised, I think, when I talk to them about the clients of the food bank. So across Canada, the stats are probably 20% of people using food banks have a job. But in Vancouver, our numbers are actually 30% of our clients. So if you think 30% of the 16,000 have a job, they are working, and they can't afford to make ends meet. It's just the price. We all know what it is. It's the price of housing, it's the price of everything else. And what's the last thing where people can actually scrimp and save? It's cutting back on the food.
This was supposed to be a stopgap measure, and every year, as you say, we're not going to wait for government to do it. You've taken the pressure off government to do it.
Well, I think the government have enough issues. I think what we need to do is we need to be entrepreneurial. We need to create different systems. What we've done at the Greater Vancouver Food Bank, we took surplus. There's mandarin oranges right over here, for example.
Yeah.
Right now, I have 6 tractor trailers of mandarin oranges that are surplus. There's nothing wrong with them. I would feed them to my kids. So what we've started doing is we've started extending the life of food. So we started creating mandarin orange juice, just squeezing the mandarin oranges with a third-party juicing company.
That's brilliant.
We're also juicing apples. Last fall, I got about 500,000 pounds of apples. We're creating apple juice, and we're actually starting to sell those juices, and the money that we create from selling the juices goes back into the food bank. And we did a really cool thing a few months ago where we actually did a food exchange with Regina Food Bank in Saskatchewan, just to prove a point that there's no shortage of food, it's a distribution problem. And we actually paid $6,000 to transfer 20 tons of food each direction. So we sent fresh vegetables to Regina. They sent me all the surplus they had, which is the pulses, the lentils, the oats. So we moved 40 tons of food across this country for $6,000, and I paid for it by selling juice from surplus mandarin oranges. They put the juice through a hyperbaric chamber, so it's pressure treated. It's got a shelf life of 6 months. No additives, like no additives. I'm gonna let you try some upstairs too.
Okay.
We got some upstairs. Oh, you've got some right here. Here's the very product. Look at this. Jamie, you're amazing.
Look at that.
So there you go.
So this is the juice that came from excess mandarins.
Yeah, and it's available now. Oh, here we go. You want to do this?
I want to do this. I want to taste it. Okay.
This is awesome, Stephen.
This is good. Damn, that's good. That's good juice.
We had one farmer in the Okanagan, a tree farmer with apricots, and it was about $42,000 or $45,000 worth of apricots were spoiled because of a hailstorm, because they had little tiny blemishes on them, so they were rejected. We actually took the whole crop through the farmer tax credit program, and we actually processed it, and we created these freeze-dried sour apricot snacks. When you freeze dry something like, or when you freeze dry anything, it generally keeps about 97% of the nutrition. And it has a shelf life of over about 10 or 15 years. So why are we not doing more of that instead of just rejecting? Why are we not looking at creative ways to incentivize? Can't help it, there's a hailstorm. And there's just such abundance, especially in the Okanagan. We think what we grow and how much food we have. I got to introduce you to Roger too. Roger's a huge fan. Every morning he listens.
I listen to you every morning.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
You've helped us, but you've helped us do this. That's what I want to thank you for.
Well, you can
no, seriously, CBC, unbelievable.
But you can thank CBC's listeners for that, because it's them who are making the donations right across the province, which is, you know, I mean, I worry year to year about, you know, because it seems that the generosity increases every year. It feels to me like there's got to be a limit to it. There's only so much people can afford to donate, I think, sometimes. Are you alone in how you have innovated here?
I don't know if I'm alone in it, but what I'm hoping is that what we're trying to do is we can show other organizations, like it's about collaboration, it's about everybody working together, you know, how we use the donors' money. And people like what they see. They like the healthy food story. They like the fact that kids are getting proper nutrition. This should be the same, and we should replicate this around the province, if not across the country.
You gotta feel good about what you do.
I love what I do. So excited, literally, about where we're going next. Like, we just bought this, we're permanently in Vancouver. Now my next goal is to find another warehouse where we can do a production facility, where we can flash freeze, freeze dry, and we can take our time with the surplus food that's fresh, and then we can distribute it. We can distribute it to the north, the First Nations, people that are struggling. We know the stories. Hopefully what we're trying to do is just bring some of the solutions.
Thank you for the time, I really appreciate it.
No problem.
And just a reminder, you're invited to join us tomorrow for Make the Season Kind.
That is in support of communities in need and food banks in BC, just like the one you saw there. So much creativity and innovation happening there, hey, Darius.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's going to be a very, very big day. Thank you to the generosity of all of our listeners, our viewers, of course. Always a fun one.
You excited?
I am excited.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, you can come and meet Darius. I'll be there as well.
Yeah, me and Joe will be there together. Come chat science.
Dan Burrett will be up at 1:30. You guys are at what time?
11:45.
11:45. So come down 700 Hamilton Street. That's it for us tonight. Thank you for joining us on CBC Vancouver News at 6.
Have a great night.